All right, guys. Good evening. Good evening. It is Sunday. It is time again for my penny stock show right here on Benzinga. I hope you all are doing well today. Whoops, wrong one. Hope you guys are doing good today. We're going to give everybody a second to get joined up into this stream. We got a few stocks that we're going to be going over today on today's show. And, for the first maybe 5 minutes, let's go ahead and get some call outs in the chat. I'm going to preface this, guys, with like all the stocks we talk about in this show. This is not stock picks. These are not recommendations to buy. I don't know whether these stocks are going to go up, down, or sideways. And realistically, a lot of penny stocks, are terrible companies. And so these are just stocks that are on my list that I may potentially trade tomorrow. We're going to look at what the catalyst was from this past week, the reason why it's moving. We've got all that for today's show. Again, let me know in the chat any stocks you want to see me look at. I also will say I'm not an expert in OTC pink sheet stocks. I'm not an expert in anything really, but especially OTC pink sheets. We get a lot of people asking about those each time. And again, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't know a ton about the pink sheet market. That is not what I'm referring to when I say penny stocks. We're just looking at, any stock under $10 really with a low float is what we're considering a penny stock here. So what's up, Hyder, Thermal, Matt, my Louisiana brother, BT. Hey, what's up, guys? Tammy. All right, guys. So go ahead and throw some stocks out there and we'll take a look at them right now. We'll try to let everybody get joined in real quick. IMMP, Matt. Yeah, we'll check that one out, brother. We'll check it out, man. I got to get some water for today's show. Get ready. All right. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Hey, welcome, brother. Welcome, man. Thanks. First time here. Thanks for having me. Hey, we're happy to have you here, brother. We're happy to have you here, man. So yeah, I see a few people talking about SOS, and I guess I could go ahead and look at this one. I didn't actually have this one on my list today, but I guess I'm going to go over this one regardless, just because it had some big movement last week. I think a lot of people are watching this one. It's a very common story lately with penny stocks. They just have not been holding their gains super well in the market. They just have not been holding well. Penny stocks have just not been holding. There's not been a ton of volatility with penny stocks, and it's unfortunate because I love trading penny stocks. Penny stocks are my favorite thing to trade. We just have not had that much volatility. And so I'm hoping we get some volatility back. I'm hoping we get some volatility returning this upcoming week. We had a little bit of it last week with SOS, but again, they just didn't really hold their gains like we wanted them to. And so we're watching SOS. We're gonna see what happens with it. This was a big mover last week that influenced the market a decent amount as well. I think I'm trying to think of what the catalyst actually was. I know we had another company that Hindenburg dropped another short report on, similar to SOS. All right, so there was apparently a Reddit post that called for a squeeze on SOS. I know we had somebody in my stream. I day trade the market live every weekday for free on Beginner Trading, the YouTube channel. And I know we had somebody that said that this move was purely technical, and I certainly don't think that's true. I think there was obviously some type of catalyst that caused this big move last week, and it seems like it was from a few Reddit posts calling for a squeeze, calling for a pump here in SOS. So I don't know if that's why, but there was certainly something going on with it back here on the 7th. You can see the volume got up to pretty high. On the 7th. It never really did much after the gap. It kind of stayed pretty neutral after the gap, but there was there was certainly some volatility. Man, my voice is going out, guys. I got to drink some more water. Yeah, we can look at Riot and a few of these other ones, ITRM. With Riot, I think it's really just going to depend on what Bitcoin does. Here's Riot. Here's Bitcoin. And so Bitcoin's pushing up this morning. We are running a little bit with Bitcoin. Or this afternoon, I should say. Started at around 5 p.m. Bitcoin started to push up. It's at 60,500 right now. So about 60,500 for Bitcoin. And I think obviously it's going to influence Riot tomorrow. It's going to influence Mara tomorrow if it holds these gains leading up into the opening bell. And again, only time will tell. We'll see if that actually happens or not. But yeah, I'm certainly going to be watching Riot because of that as well. Even though it's not penny stocks, it's kind of a penny stock show. But yeah, I'm certainly going to be watching that as well. We got MICT making moves, but not too much action there either. RMO down big on it. Yeah, bro. listen, I don't know why RMO moved last week. I remember it moving, but it just didn't hold its gains. It's still up decent from where it was prior to that run. But yeah, one of the things with these penny stocks, brother, and, you know, it's not always true. Nothing's 100% in trading, but a lot of the time, these will make broader, like bigger percentage moves initially, and then they will hold their gains less. I think that's pretty universally true with penny stocks. Of course, it's not every one. You will have outliers that end up kind of going up and ripping up and going crazy. But, you know, that's kind of pretty true for penny stocks. I think they're certainly more manic depressive, if you will. They're the manic depressive stocks of the stock market, where they go up really big. It's either really polarized, they're either really strong, and then they fade all the way back down. You see that a lot with them, and RMO is no exception. We can watch it, though. I mean, look at these moves. This thing went from $10 up to almost 40, back down to 10. It's sitting under 10 now at 960. So, like, yeah, I think we could watch it tomorrow. I just need some more volume, and we need something to happen. It's been maintaining this downward trend. So, like, I'm going to watch it. But, again, I'm not super confident in this one continuing. You know, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, that's pretty much accurate, man. He said penny stocks are simple, pump and dump. Yeah, that's basically what they do. I mean, you'll have outliers that, you know, every now and then you'll have some of these that just do really, really well and that kind of fight their way back and go crazy. Every now and then you'll have one of these penny stocks that actually holds its gains. But, you know, normally they're going to fail. You know, not always, obviously. It depends on the company. But most of the time, there's just a lot of sensationalist hype out there in the penny stock market that I don't know if I necessarily buy into. I think that a lot of it is just marketing, you know, and I think that if you get caught up in kind of blindly following the marketing of some of these penny stocks, you're going to hit some big losses. You're going to take some big losses in those markets because, again, a lot of it is sensationalist. That's just the reality behind it. I've been trading penny stocks. You know, I've been trading penny stocks every day for about a year now, but I've been trading penny stocks off and on for 4 years. So I've been trading them a ton. And that's pretty universally true, I would say. All right, guys. So now that we have everybody in here, let's go ahead and start taking a look at the stocks that we are going to review in today's show. Yeah, 100%, Kishal, 100%, brother. UEC. Okay, I see somebody asking for UEC, and we'll take a look at that one first as well. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at these. I really like the daily chart of UEC. I think this is a really strong looking daily chart. It's not a bad looking daily chart. It's holding its gains. Like I said, one of the signs of strength that we have to look at with these, does it hold its gains? Does it move up and actually hold its moves? Does it actually hold its moves, or does it actually just kind of rip up and then fall back down? You know, that's the question you have to ask yourself with these penny stocks is it going to actually hold its gains? And this one looks like it's holding its gains. Again, I'm not an expert. I don't know which way these are going to go. These are certainly not buy recommendations. You know, don't sue me, guys. But I think that this one looks like it's holding its gains. I want to see if it holds at 3. You know, obviously, I don't know if this one's going to continue, but I want to see if it holds at $3. I think $3 is the natural pivot point after this move on the daily chart, kind of up, hold its gains, up, hold its gains, up. Let's see if it holds its gains here at $3. That's what I'm paying attention to. It certainly doesn't have good enough volume for me to day trade. The volatility is just not quite there for me to day trade this thing. But, you know, it doesn't look bad relative to, you know, a lot of the other ones we're looking at when it comes to the daily chart. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I want to see if it holds at 3. That's what I'm really watching. And let me know how you feel about that one in the chat. 42% short. Really? I'm not showing that. For you, EC, I'm showing 8.8% short float. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so with all that said, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the top stock movers of the week. All right, guys, so the first one on our list today, the first one that we are going to be paying attention to is RICE, Rice here. Now, the reason we're watching Rice is because this one has had some really nice movement. To go back to what we said earlier, we're looking at stocks that are actually holding their gains. That's one of the biggest things that we're looking at is stocks that are simply holding their gains. I want to see stocks that are moving up and then maintaining over those levels to judge the strength. And RICE, it's currently doing that. I know it's a little bit expensive relative to what we usually look at on the show. This stock is currently sitting at 17, but prior to this move, it was under $10. This stock was at like 9 something prior to this move. And so I'm going to classify this as a penny stock. Other people might not, and that's okay. But hey, It's volatile. It's moving up. It's had really strong pre-market action. And then when it has moved up during market hours, during actual market hours, it has been holding its historical gains. Now, if we look at Rice here, the reason Rice is actually up, number one, is that it's a SPAC. Okay, and SPACs have a lot of hype. When they can really get going, they can move pretty big here. And Rice is one of those examples. Now, it's holding its gains relative to a lot of the other stocks we're looking at. To put it into perspective, it's Archaea Energy is a new company that is being formed. Archaea Energy is a new company being formed through a SPAC merger with Rice Acquisition Corporation, which is RICE. It's a SPAC. And if you don't know what a SPAC is basically just a shell company that raises money for the sole reason of going public and acquiring another company. That's what a SPAC is. And that's what Rice is here. It is developing out of Area Energy Operating, which is a portfolio company of Ares Management Corp. And Archaea Energy LLC, currently majority owned by Rice Investment Group, an affiliate of the SPAC sponsor. So yeah, looking into the actual numbers here, number one, the actual base of the company is that they plan to capture and convert waste emissions from landfills and anaerobic digesters into low carbon RNG and electricity. That is what the actual, the underlying asset of the company is, what they actually do. The float here is 23 million. So it's a pretty small float for RICE. And again, looking at this daily chart, I think the fact that it recently broke over 52-week highs and the fact that it's over these levels here, it's over this $14 level, and it has held that gain or held those gains and continued moving up, I think is a strong sign here for Rice. Now, I'm not saying this one's just going to continue up and up and up, but what I am saying is that it doesn't look bad here. We're going to watch it. It's one of the more volatile stocks to watch into tomorrow's open. And if you guys know me, I trade penny stocks a ton, and stocks like RICE are what I usually trade, really volatile, big percentage movers. I don't have to take huge sizing when I trade these type of stocks because the range is so big here. When the stock is moving up, 30, 40, 50% every day, then you don't have to take huge sizing. And it's one of my favorite stocks to attack considering that. I did trade this one a few times last week, had some pretty good results with it, made some money with this one last week. And for that reason, the fact that it's gapping up into after hours from Friday into tomorrow's pre-market, yeah, this is certainly one that we're going to pay attention to at the opening bell tomorrow, unless something crazy happens. You can see the previous close is right around, I don't know how right this is. I think the previous closing price is right around 1725 or so. So we're going to be watching that level right here at 1725. Underneath this, let's see what else we have. I mean, we could also look at like 16. There's just a lot of distance. It's held its gains. And so there's a lot of distance in between that. And so, yeah, that's what we're watching here for RICE. Let me know what you think about this one in the chat. It is one of the more volatile ones. There's a lot of volume and liquidity and just volatility going on with RICE. And so, yeah, we're going to be watching this one at the opening bell. Again, let me know how you feel about it. The next one we're going to be looking at, guys, the next one on our list is OBLN. Now, OBLN here, there's a few different things we could talk about with this company. Number one, the volume's not great. It's not huge volume. The volume is not incredible or anything like that, but it is gapping up some in after hours. It is catalyst driven. We did have a catalyst that we think is coming out for this one. Basically, what they think is happening with OBLN here is that they think that traders on Twitter were suggesting the stock is moving with Auris Medical. BZ, which is Benzinga, can't confirm if they are related or how. Different sectors, as OBLN is a weight loss device company and Auris is a medical device company. Now, I do think they might just be trending in sympathy with each other. Now, again, I'm going to say this. This is just pure speculation here. I don't know if this is accurate, but they're both medical device companies, and sometimes even if the stocks aren't completely related, if they're in the same sector, they could still sometimes move with sympathy with each other. And I think because some of these other stocks are making such big, broad moves, I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to other medical device companies just to see if they can get some short-term trades with sympathy. And I think that might be what's going on, again, with OBLN. And I think that's what Benzinga speculated to as well. Again, they are not suggesting they are actually related. They're just speculating, guessing basically here. And that's basically what I'm doing as well. So we'll see what happens with OBLN. If you guys know anything else regarding this, let us know. But yeah, I don't see anything else with OBLN when it comes to actual news. I see they had a 13D filing that showed a 10% stake from domain partners back on March 15th. And that was the last catalyst that really came out that I'm seeing here. But again, we're gapping up some. And when we look at the actual daily chart here, we're sitting right around this 350 level, and we're sitting under this 315 support area. And I think that makes a lot of sense to pay attention to. Like, for instance, if we clear this out here, we've obviously traded OBLN a ton. But if we clear this out, you can look at that previous low right around here. Let's see, it's right around 315s or so. And so you can see that has been a major confirmed level on this chart, right around 315. And if we look at the actual chart here, that's right underneath us. And we're going to see if we can hold over that level. I think if we're developing a line in the sand level for OBLN, that's kind of what I'm doing here. Again, in order for me to really want to trade this one, though, I need the volume to increase drastically. It just needs a lot more volume. I'm also watching this 350 level. I think a lot of other traders are going to be paying attention to 350 as well. And again, we'll see what happens there with that 350 spot. We also have the pre-market high up there at about 365, 370. And so we're going to be watching all these different levels. Again, I need the volume to increase if I'm going to trade it. But again, it is something that we're certainly watching. Let me know what you think about this one in the chat as well. And catch back up with the chat. Speaking of that, I see a lot of Pelotons. Hey, what's up, Marlon? Happy Sunday, brother. Hey, yes, sir. Hey, hope you're doing well, bro. Been a while since I joined the stream. Hey, welcome back, brother. Welcome back, man. Yeah, we can watch OCGN as well. We're looking at that one too. All right. Now, the next stock we're going over is kind of related to this last one. It's EYES, EYES. Now, if you've been paying attention and trading the market a lot lately, you should know about EYES here. Now, EYES is, again, it's the medical device company. We thought that was speculated to be sympathy with the OBLN. And looking into EYES here, they rallied 20% Thursday after the company said they would provide an update on April 13th on their AM301 nasal spray for the protection against airborne viruses and allergens. And yeah, you can see from Friday, we did have a big rip on EYES from Friday. And this might be what's causing some of the sympathy in OBLN, just because they're both medical device companies, although a little bit different sectors. They're still medical device companies, so they might be moving in unison with each other is what's speculated. But again, you can see EYES had this big rip up there once they dropped. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, so EYES had this big spike up about midday on Friday on the 9th. That was Friday, right? Yeah. Okay. And this one pushed up pretty big. Let me see if we can find anything else. What I'm showing again here is that they provided that update on their A3 or the AM301 nasal spray that's supposed to protect against airborne viruses and allergens. It's showing that that was on Thursday, but I want to see why this move right here happened. So you can see this move happened midday on Friday. Let me see if we can find out why. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, so yeah, so basically what happened with EYES here, what I'm reading for EYES is that traders were circulating a Eureka report that showed the computer model fosters potential improvements to bionic eye technology. That is what dropped midday Friday as opposed to Thursday. I think I had the wrong one. So yeah, that is what dropped midday on Friday. Again, a Eureka report that showed that the computer model fosters potential improvements to their bionic eye technology. And yeah, I think we're going to watch this one. Has some movement in after hours as well. It's over $9. $9 is going to be a level I specifically watch for this. I want to see if it holds over $9. And I think a lot of other traders are going to be paying attention to $9 because, it's a big whole dollar level. It's psychological. And, it's a nice little line in the sand level that we can pay attention to here for EYES. Looking into the actual number for the actual numbers for EYES here, I am showing an 11 million float for EYES, and I am showing a 6 million float for EYES. And one of the most interesting parts about this one is that the short float here is 25%. That's a lot of shorts that are piling into EYES thinking it's going to fail. And when that happens, when that many shorts get involved there, a lot of the time you can get squeezes up from all of those shorts getting greedy, piling in there. And yeah, that's certainly one of the dynamics that we're going to pay attention to with EYES here. Huge short float, small regular float, 6 million in the float, 25% short float. And yeah, again, the catalyst here is that traders have been circulating a Eureka report that showed bullish improvement potential for the company. So we're watching that with EYES. Looking into the actual daily chart, the longer term chart here, I think there's a few things I like and dislike about them. Now, the first thing is that we didn't actually hold these gains at 10. I think $10 is a big level that a lot of other traders are paying attention to. And so far, we haven't really held that level at $10. At this point in time, $10 is a resistance area, and we kind of broke over and didn't hold that great on this initial push right here. So that's the first thing I see. The second thing I see, though, is that we're actually holding some support underneath where we currently are, at least. We do see some support at about $7.15 and $8. And if we can continue to maintain over $8 and specifically hold over $9, which is really short term here, I think that's a really bullish sign. I think we got to cross over the VWAP, and I think a lot of traders are going to be watching to see if we get that VWAP cross. The last VWAP cross we got midday was really strong, and we actually held some really nice gains from that. And again, one of my favorite things, we'll look at this one a little bit later for the strategy of the week with eyes, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But again, just a little sneak peek for the strategy we're going to be talking about today. I want to see if it's going to cross over the VWAP tomorrow morning at the opening bell and specifically hold at $9 or so. That's really what we're watching for eyes, and yeah, we'll see what happens. The next one we're looking at, guys, is ears. Now, eyes and ears have been confirmed to move with each other. At least from my experience, eyes and ears do move a ton with each other. And you can see ears is gapping up really solidly in the after hours session. This is the one that said that they would provide the update on their nasal spray for protection against airborne viruses, allergens, and COVID. This is the company that actually said that. So this is the company that is going to be dropping that update on April 13th, which I believe is Tuesday. So Tuesday, they're going to be dropping an update with their product, the product update. And again, that product update is said to provide an update on their nasal spray. That's going to be dropping. So we'll see what happens there as well. They have an 11 million float here. So ears, again, it moves with eyes in that they're both medical device companies. Ears is obviously a medical device an ear device. Eyes is obviously some type of eye technology device. And so we're watching ears here, and we're going to see if it holds over $5. Here's $5 on this short-term intraday chart. And you can see we held $5 as resistance here, and then eventually we broke over that level and held that level as support. I think holding $5 as support looks really strong currently, and we're going to see if it actually holds that level. I think $5 is an obvious confirmed level to play off of. And I also think that it's a big psychological level that a lot of other traders are going to be paying attention to. I think a lot of traders are going to be watching $5 just because it acted as resistance before. It's holding there now. It's a psychological level. It's a whole dollar level. I just think a lot of traders are watching $5. And so that's what we're going to be looking at for ears here as well. Looking into the actual daily chart, I think the daily chart doesn't look that bad. I think we're over 450 because if we look at this daily chart here, just to zoom in a little bit more, we are over 450. Look at all the confirmation on this chart at 450. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we were holding under 450 for a while. We are back over that level. We're over 450. And if we look back at this chart again, you can see 450 here. So we finally broke over that level. And I think that's a really good sign on the daily chart as well. And so again, short term, we're looking at $5. Long term, I want to see it hold over 450 if we're going to continue. And maybe if I was looking at a swing trade for this one, I would want to see if it holds over 450. And yeah, only time will tell. Again, I'm not saying I'm going to swing trade this. And again, I can't say it enough, guys. These are not recommendations to buy. I have no idea what these are going to do. This is just my own subjective opinion. Hope you guys understand that. I am not an expert, and this is just my own subjective opinion on ears. So we'll see what happens, guys. Let me know how you feel about this one in the chat. And then we have one more to go over today, and then we're going to go look at the trade of the week. Let me catch back up on the chat one more time. What's up, Fran? Ears in my monitoring list. Hey, yes, sir. Hey, thank you, Jason. I see the Jason. The CEO, listen, Jason's over here boosting my ego. We got the CEO of Benzinga telling me I got a great show. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate the support, man. But yeah, so ears is moving up. We're going to watch this, guys. The next one we're looking at and the last one on our list today is AFMD. And again, I got to say, guys, the volatility has disappointed me in the stock market lately. It just has. The volatility has not been that good. Penny stocks, at least. The penny stock volatility, let me clarify. The penny stock volatility has been low. And it's unfortunate. Listen, it's almost the summer months. It's usually slower during the summer for penny stocks. If you guys have never really traded the penny stock markets before, a lot of the time, the schedule for these penny stocks kind of goes something like this. It's slower during summer, during spring. Around fall, it starts to pick up a little bit. And it makes sense, and it kind of correlates with the economy in certain ways, because if you think about it, the economy as a whole starts to roll back during the fall months. We have holidays, which are nice boosts to the economy as well. You know, there's a lot of economic spending going on during the fall and, holiday months. And so with that said, the penny stocks kind of act the same. A lot of the time, October, November, December are really, really volatile times for penny stocks. A lot of professional penny stock traders save up their capital and save up their money and get ready to take some swings during those fall and winter months, during those holiday months, because again, historically, that's when we've seen the most volatility in these markets. And so what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, sometimes during the summer and spring, the volatility is a little bit lower, but that's okay because on average, it all balances out. And that's the beautiful thing about the stock market. But yeah, going back to AFMD, now that we have that quick lesson on volatility and penny stocks, AFMD, really nice gap up on Friday. And the reason that there was a few different catalysts that give me some bullish, sentiment with AFMD. Again, I'm not saying it's going to continue going up, but there's a few different things that help give me some bullish sentiment on AFMD. The first one is that they saw positive initial clinical data from their trial of an approach developed to treat patients with a specific form of lymphoma. All 4 patients in that phase 1 trial experienced significantly less diseases with disease reduction, and 2 complete responses and 2 partial responses with an objective response rate of 100%. The immuno-oncology company said Friday all of those things were pretty positive, and there were no observed events on cytokine release syndrome, neurotoxicity syndrome, or graft versus host disease. Nailed it. I love reading these biotech catalysts. But yeah, so positive phase 1 data is basically what this is, guys, for AFMD. We also had another thing that came out to said, we also are showing that AFMD is a clinical stage immuno-oncology company committed to giving patients back their innate ability to fight cancer. They announced that they are going to release full year 2020 results and corporate update on Thursday, April 15th. And so they're also going to be releasing their full year 2020 financial results on the 15th of this month. And they're going to host a conference call at 8:30 Eastern, at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time, again on Thursday, April 15th. And so that's something to watch with AFMD leading into this next week. They are going to be dropping some stuff coming in. There's a few good things and bad things about the numbers behind this one, in my opinion. The good thing is that it has 108 million in the float. Or the bad thing is that the float is large, right? And it's subjective, I guess. It could be seen as good and bad. It could be seen as good because, sometimes the larger the float, if they've done so in an ethical way, if they've raised the float in an ethical way, a lot of the time that can kind of reinforce the validity of the company just based off of having a big market cap. And if people are still willing to buy it up and it's still making okay moves, then a larger float isn't terrible. Another thing is that it has 6.5 short float percentage. A lot of people are watching to see if those shorts can get squeezed out. It's not a huge percentage, but it is something to keep in mind that there are some shorts a little bit under 7%. In that short float. And so we're going to be watching for that as well. Some major levels that I'm specifically paying attention to here, guys, is $10. I think $10 confirmed a bunch of times on Friday, not only in pre-market, it also held resistance there right around the VWAP mid-morning and late morning. And then we actually confirmed it a few more times in after hours. You can see we went up right up to $10, rejected there. And so I think $10 is the recent milestone level that I want to see it get over. I think $10 is from single to double digits. It's a psychological level. It's a whole dollar level. And again, a lot of the time with technical analysis, what you're really trying to do with technical trading is you're trying to see what everyone else sees. You're trying to identify levels that all these other traders see and watch and in turn play off of, because that's going to help your trades the most. If you want buyers to step in, if you're dip buying, for instance, you want everybody else to see that dip buy level. You want all the other traders to see that level is respected, because when a lot of other traders see that level, they're going to dip buy into that level as well. And the more people that are dip buying, the more upward movement you're going to get. The more buys that come in, the more the stock price is going to go up. That's how the stock market works. And so with technical trading, again, the logic is I want to try to identify the levels that everybody else sees. Those are the levels that I'm going to be the most confident in, especially if the stock has good volume. And that's why we're watching $10 for AFMD. Again, psychological level, confirmed resistance, whole dollar level, moving from single to double digits. I just think a lot of people are going to be watching $10. And again, we'll watch to see if it can actually hold over that. Another thing is that, we're breaking over 52-week highs for AFMD. We're breaking over the high of the last year. We broke over this previous high up there at around 850. And again, now that we're moving to double digits, I think people want to see it stay there. And so for it to stay there, it needs to hold over $10. And so I think that's what it needs to do to kind of retain some of this bullish sentiment from the gap up earlier in the week. And again, we'll see what happens here. Let me know what you think about this one in the chat below. That is all of our stocks for this list. We're going to be going over a strategy now as well, guys. Let me go ahead and catch back up with the chat here. Hey, what's up, Ulysses? Hey, my bro. Hey, thank you, man. Appreciate the support, brother. Fran said, hey, what indicators do you normally use? I'm a purist at heart when it comes to trading, guys. I'm a purist. I don't really like using a bunch of different indicators. For me, I mostly just use the VWAP. I'm a purist. Anything else clouds the chart up. I use the VWAP to determine. I talk about it in a video that I dropped. I'll post the video at the very end of the stream if you guys want to see the video that I dropped today, talking about how penny stock traders use the VWAP. Again, I'll go ahead and post that before we close the showdown today. But yeah, I'm using the VWAP as a milestone level, and I'll explain it a little bit better in the video I'll post later. But yeah, I'm using the VWAP as a milestone level, and it's telling me the short-term trend. And so I'm using the VWAP to identify a trend, and that's it. I'm using price action. I'm drawing my own support and resistance lines, and then I'm looking for major confirmed levels is what I do. But I don't use any other indicators on an everyday basis. Sometimes you'll see me move moving averages for crossovers and stuff like that, but it's less common for sure. But most of the time, I'm sticking to my bread and butter, which is the VWAP. The VWAP it's VWAP. My southern charm might come out when I say it, but no, it's VWAP. It's a volume weighted average price is what the VWAP is. What it really is, it's a intraday trend indicator. So like if a stock maintains below it, downward trend short term. If the stock maintains below it, upward trend short term. You can see, for instance, AFMD after the opening bell, maintained below it, which is telling you it's in a short term downward trend. And so it maintained a downward trend after the opening bell. But yeah, that's how you use the VWAP. And again, yeah, we'll see what happens with this one tomorrow. Let me take a good sip of water, guys. And yeah, we'll go ahead and look over the trade of the week. Give me 1 second. All right. Now that I'm not going to die of thirst here. Yeah, guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at one of my favorite things, my favorite parts of the show. This is one of my favorite parts of the show, guys. It is the penny stock trade of the week. All right, guys, so this is what I chose this example today because I think it's a really good lesson. And I think that a lot of traders can learn from it. If you caught the video I dropped on my channel this morning, it's the same type of strategy. It's a little bit different than, what I went over in that video. And so I wanted to go over that one for today's show as well. Okay, so what happens, guys, with these penny stocks? And one of my favorite things to watch for is what I talked about on the show is these type of moves. Okay, and there's a few different ways you could target these type of moves. The first thing when you're looking for this type of strategy, the first thing you really want to see is volume. Now, you want to see really good volume. Again, my preference when it comes to volume is I want to see over 200,000 shares traded per minute. Without it, it's not going to hold its gains as well. It's not going to go up, or it's just not going to hold its gains that well without good volume. If you want a stock to hold its gains, at least if you're speaking on momentum gains, then you need good volume. And so the first thing I'm looking for is at least 200,000 shares traded per minute. The next thing I'm specifically targeting with these type of trades is big run-ups, right? I'm looking for big run-ups. I'm looking for crosses over the VWAP. And really, what I'm specifically looking for is big rips. I want to see big catalyst-driven moves, big volume coming in, obviously better volume than prior. You can see the lower volume here, kind of slow. We get this big volume coming in. And again, this is really what I'm paying attention to. And once we get this big rip, the next thing, it's a really simple strategy, guys, because you can understand the psychology really, really easily for these. And so just try to stay with me and understand the psychology behind these trades. Okay, when you get a big rip like this, Okay, when you get a big move like this, a big volume run, a big catalyst-driven rip, like you can see here from Oz. Again, this is from traders circulating the Eureka report that showed the computer model fosters potential improvement. Basically, the computer model can give them a little bit better, and give them some improvement on their company. Everybody sees this move, right? Everybody sees this move. It has what? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 green trades or 4 green candles in a row, 5 green candles in a row, a ton of green, a ton of volume, and obviously big momentum move here. There's obviously big momentum coming in here for EYES. And the psychology behind this trade, guys, is that when you have a big rip like this, when you have a huge move like this, what happens? What's happening here? When you have a big rip like this, everyone is waiting for a pullback entry. They don't want to buy it as it's breaking highs right here. They don't want to buy it as it's breaking highs. Even right here, in hindsight, we can see that it went up. But if you buy it right here, a lot of experienced traders, team, are actually taking profits at these levels. So a lot of experienced traders are taking profit at these high of the day levels. And I think a lot of new traders get stuck into this kind of limbo where they only trade high of the day breakouts. I know I used to do it when I was a brand new trader. I used to only see high of the day breakouts as strength, right? And so I'd always buy into these high of the day levels. And what happens, especially to new traders, what happens when you buy high of the day breaks? You get faked out. It breaks these highs. It rips down. It doesn't look good. It fails. It crashes down. Sure. Does it work a small percentage of the time? Sure. And maybe that percentage gains from those times that it works justify it. But in my opinion, it's much safer to buy pullbacks. And I think a lot of experienced traders think the same thing. And so again, the psychology here is that when we have this huge rip, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 huge green candles, 2 huge green candles, 4 green candles in a row, an obviously bullish move, good volume coming in. Everybody here, guys, everybody that is all up in, everybody that sees this move happening, which is a lot of traders see this. Everybody that's seeing this happen is waiting for an entry. They don't want to buy it at high of the day breaks because, again, high of the day breaks are going to fake you out a huge percentage of the time. They're going to cause you to lose. And so what are they doing? They're waiting for pullbacks to the VWAP to enter these. They're waiting for pullbacks to the VWAP to enter these. Here's the VWAP pullback. A lot of traders see this really simple. What the VWAP can show you is, again, it's a milestone level. And so when we fight our way above this here, when we finally break above it, we want to see it hold the VWAP. And a lot of traders are dip buying these pullbacks to the VWAP area. Again, we have this huge, big percentage move, big volume coming in. Over that 5-minute period, we had millions of shares traded here. All these traders are looking for an entry. And again, they don't want to buy it at high of the days because this is really, if you look at this, this is kind of what happens at high of the days. It breaks and then it fails. And then it's just a lot of risk. If you're not super fast, you can get faked out of time. And so instead, they're waiting for pullbacks to the VWAP. That's what a lot of people are waiting for here. And if you can throw a little bit more confirmation with a half and whole dollar psychological level, even better. And so not only are they waiting for the pullback to the VWAP, they're also probably keeping this $9 support level in mind as well. Again, $9 level confirmed support previously that you can see here. And so when we have a pullback, not only to the VWAP, but also a confirmed psychological level like $9, this pullback is getting bought up. A lot of traders are buying both of these pullbacks here and here up. And you can see the volume come in on this break. You can see, okay, everybody's bought in. It's holding and respecting the VWAP. That causes a lot of bullish sentiment. And that's when you can target these much broader rips. Again, if you try to buy it here, even though in hindsight it ripped up, a lot of the time these breaks are going to fail. They're going to do this. They're going to do exactly this. They're going to push up, fail. And this dumps on you fast. And when it happens, it can happen really, really quickly. And so again, what I like to do, guys, is I target pullbacks to the VWAP level after a big parabolic rip like this. And again, if you wait for it and you do not get greedy with it, you do not try to hold it too long, they can be very profitable trades. Regardless of whether you're scalping these, you're taking a longer term range-bound move. They work really well if you can wait for them. And, that's what you got to do with a lot of these big parabolic rips. You got to wait for the volume to come in. Again, the psychology behind this is that everybody in this right here, everybody's seeing this happen. They see this huge rip up here. Everybody that sees this happen, they're waiting for an entry. They don't want to buy it at high of the days. They don't want to buy it on these micro pullbacks here because that could be a little risky. Instead, they wait for pullbacks to the VWAP. They wait for pullbacks to this $9 confirmed whole dollar level. And that's where the traders are piling in. And that's what the chart shows us. Traders did pile in there. You can see we got a big rip up, nice squeeze up after that. And I think if you're going to target catalyst-driven moves like this, if you're going to target catalyst-driven moves in the penny stock market, like I said, if I'm targeting them, I'm looking for pullbacks. I'm not buying high at the day breaks. Too much can happen there. I'm buying these little pullbacks, giving myself better risk reward, better entries. And if I can use a bunch of confirmed levels like the VWAP, half and whole dollars, like $9 support, $9 support, then even better. And that's my favorite way to approach these big catalyst driven moves. And that's ultimately what we do a lot of the time when we take these big penny stock trades. And yeah, that's the trade of the week, guys. So hey, thank you, Howard. What's up, man? Hey, I appreciate it. Howard left me the most positive comment on my video this morning. Hey, what's up, Ulysses? Hey, thank you. Hey, guys, check this out, guys. You want to see something here? Let me check this out, guys. Look at the phone I got, guys. Look at this phone. Oh, my gosh, man. This phone is the coolest phone ever. Look at this. I just want to show you guys this. I got to brag about my new phone real quick. Hold on. I just have to. How cool is this phone, man? How cool is this phone? Hold on one second. I gotta brag about my new phone. All right, check this thing out, guys. Look at this. Look at this phone, guys. Look at this phone. Look at this. It's the coolest trading phone ever. Look at this. What? Look at this thing, man. I gotta brag about it. Look at this phone. Wow. It's the Z Fold 2. I got this thing last week. I'm excited to trade on it. Look at Thinkorswim on this thing. It's like an iPad. I can literally trade from it. If I'm done, I can fold it up and boom, it turns into a regular phone. I can call somebody, say hello. And then if I want to watch movies or trade, specifically trade, look at this. Look how cool this is. Like, it's the coolest phone ever. I got to brag about it a little bit, guys. I got to brag about it, man. Get the affiliate link out for this phone. You know, no, I'm just joking. But yeah. Y'all see that phone there? I'm honestly like a little kid with this phone right now, guys, so I apologize. But yeah, so after we talked about this, let me know some stocks that you want to see me talk about in the chat. We talked about a few here. If y'all have any specific, if you guys have any specific stocks that you want to see me look at, let me know, and we'll talk about them. Sheesh, man, my wife's coming up, knocking on the door, saying, "I want you to look at my garden, John." My wife's been out there planting flowers all day. She's been out there building a garden for the last week. She spent a ton of money on this garden. Previously, I called my wife the plant murderer because anytime she bought a plant, that plant was about to die. You know, now apparently she's turned a corner in her life and she's no longer, you know, neglecting her plants, and now they're just thriving out there. She's got a garden built. Yeah, we looked at Rice already. So Rice was one of our main watches today. And yeah, we're certainly watching Rice tomorrow at the opening bell. CCIV, I've heard a lot of hype about CCIV, man. And I don't know which way I side with this on CCIV. I know they had a lot of hype for this one. A lot of big moves for CCIV. A lot of traders were really bullish in this one. And then it had some type of negative report come out. I can't remember what the report was, but it had a really bad catalyst that dropped mid-February. And so at this point in time, the big level that I'm watching for CCIV, in my opinion, is $20. So I'm looking at $20 right here. This is a major level that we're paying attention to. You can see it confirmed here 3 times on this daily chart just within the last few months. And again, I think if you look at $20, big support level. And I think that's the next step here, is if it can hold over 20 and maintain over 20 like it has been. Looking above us, we also have like 25, which is a psychological level. We have 30. You know, but again, I think it's really going to depend on the fundamentals of this company. Right now, what I see here is sideways action for CCIV. This looks sideways to me. And so until it really breaks over, you know, 32s, I think that's what I'm seeing right now. It's just sideways action for it. What else do we have here, guys? ANKR. Yeah, we can take a look at it. Again, if it's a real OTC stock, so if it's a pink sheet stock, I might not go over it. I don't know a ton about pink sheet stocks. So, you know, just a little preface there. CTXR. Yeah, CTXR. The daily chart looks strong here. I want to see if it holds over 180 right there. You can see 180 has some confirmation. If we extend that to the left, we got a little confirmation there. 180, 175, and then $2 above us looks good. Not enough volume for me to really trade it for CTXR, but yeah, we can watch that one. I'm not showing that's anything, Marcos. I'm not showing that's actually a stock. Is that a crypto? ACTS. Yeah, I'm not showing anything here as well. Are you meaning ASTC? ASTC, very slow last few days. So we're watching that, but very slow last few days. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing that as a stock, Marcos. INND. Yeah, pink sheet, not really my style. I want to see if it holds over 5 cents. I think I talked about this one the other day. I think a few people mentioned this one on my stream on my stream last week as well. I know we had a few people mention INND, but again, it's just not. It's a penny stock. It's not really within my realm of what I trade. So I just don't want to give you guys the wrong information about INND. I want to see if it holds over 5 cents. I think 5 cents can be like a milestone level that we can pay attention to there. But yeah. That Z fold is great, but unnecessary, especially for trading if you are home most of the time. Yeah, for sure. It's super unnecessary. I don't need it at all. Like, I have too many devices, to be honest. But, it's a cool phone. The real reason I got it is because a lot of the time I'm watching movies on my phone. Like, I have kids, right? So if my kids are watching, Kung Fu Panda, or if my kids are watching Angry Birds or something of the sorts that I've seen 30 million times at this point, I can pull out my Z Fold and, watch it on the couch, and so that's where it's really going to come in handy. And if I can trade from it, even better. If I can trade from it, even better. BNGO. Yeah, BNGO. We're watching Bingo here. Quiet few days. I think if we're looking at the daily chart for BNGO, we could watch it like 7. Like, I think $7 has been confirmed a few different times on this daily chart. We're going to see if it actually holds over that. $10 above us looks good. I know BNGO is a real company, though. Like, this is an actual company. Bigger float, though. The float for BNGO is 271 million in the float. It does have about 9% short float percentage. So we're going to watch that with BNGO as well. And, yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'm using the VWAP, Saleh. So I'm mostly using the VWAP. John, what model was your new phone? Yeah, but to go back to Saleh, I'm mostly just using the VWAP. I'm a purist when it comes to indicators, and so I'm just using this VWAP, which is the purple line right here. And again, choppy trend. If a stock is choppy like this, okay, just to break down exactly how you use it. If a stock is not respecting the VWAP, I get some comments from people and they say, oh, the VWAP's useless. The stock just crosses over and under it. And they're oblivious to what that's actually telling them, though. Like, the reason stocks are crossing over and under this is because they're in a neutral sideways trend, and that's what the VWAP is telling you. If stocks are just crossing over and under it like this, again, the VWAP's saying, hey, we're sideways, we're neutral, we're indecisive. It might not be the best thing to trade. But if a stock is maintaining, like, later on in that day underneath it, then it's a little bit better, and the VWAP's saying, hey, we're in a downward trend here. And so that's how you use the VWAP as a trend indicator. And that's what a lot of people, try to use it for. And that's how I use it as well. CLBS. Yeah, we'll go over a few more, and then we're going to go ahead and close it down. CLBS, a little bit slow. Daily chart. I don't know if I like the daily chart here, brother. I do want to see it hold over 150. I think that's big. But, yeah, very weak-looking daily chart, downward trending daily chart, under $2. I'm just not in love with it, but I'm not saying it's not going to do anything. I genuinely don't know if it's going to hold or what's going to happen here. But for me, just not really loving that, the daily chart here. The intraday chart is a little bit too slow for me as well. So I will say maybe it could be a little bit oversold. We have this obvious downward trend here. You can see that, a really obvious downward trend. And so, hey, maybe that downward move is done. Maybe we get some bounces. So, like, maybe if you're trading extension, that could be a possible trading plan. But again, no idea which way this one's going to go. Good luck, brother. I hope you do well, man. Yeah, I see TLRY. We can go over that one. That one's cannabis. I think this one's just going to depend on what happens in the sector, in the cannabis sector. It depends on, what happens, like where the legalization efforts are and all that good stuff. And I think TLRY, ACB, CGC, APHA, all of these are going to, the overall sector is going to influence basically what these do. Now, the daily chart doesn't look bad. I've traded this one a lot. You can see here. I think $20, big psychological level that we can pay attention to if we're looking for support underneath us. We're slightly under that now, I guess. So, yeah, so we're actually slightly underneath that. Here's 20 right here. And so, yeah, I'm going to watch 20, maybe that 2010 level and see what happens here for TLRY. But again, I just think it's going to get influenced by the sector as a whole. CETX, yeah, slow. Daily chart looks okay. Again, 150 looks okay. We'll see if it holds there. But so far, just kind of a neutral daily chart for the last year or so for CETX. I see AUTO. It's kind of the same thing with this one. I mean, not really something I would usually day trade just based off of the volume. But it looks like it's trending really well. So like this one looks like a good one to like swing trade maybe. But again, I'm not saying which direction. But what I mean is that, it maintains trends fairly obviously, at least from these last, 20 or 30 days. The trends have been nice, but not something I generally trade. The daily chart is about neutral too. So we'll see. I'll check about crypto. But yeah, guys, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close it down here today. Again, guys, if you guys want to see the video I talked about. So if you guys want to see the trades I've gotten into, we've been having a ton of green trades lately using a very specific strategy in the market. And I posted a video today breaking down exactly how I trade the strategies that have been working for me. And I gave a lot of good examples. I think it's a really good video. And if you guys want to help support me, I'll post this video right here. This video breaks down how I use the VWAP specifically in penny stock trading. There's a difference between penny stocks and mid and high caps and how you use the VWAP. And so, yeah, check out the latest video there. Again, guys, run those like and subscribe numbers up here on Benzinga. Benzinga is a great resource for trading and traders. Really good platform, fun stories that happen, a lot of great shows. And I think, I just love what Benzinga is doing over here. It's a great channel. Y'all make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're coming from my channel, I know I made a community post about this show. If you're coming from my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button here at Benzinga. Hit that like button. Let's run those numbers up. And again, if you're on Benzinga and you've never seen my channel or show, I run a day trading stream where we day trade live every weekday morning. We stream for about 6 hours, starting from really early at like 6 a.m. all the way to the opening bell, where we trade live after the opening bell on stream, talk about the biggest moving stocks, show our trades, talk about the strategies and patterns that have been working. And again, we've got a lot of good stuff coming for our channel as well. And again, check it out. Check it out the link above us right here for Benzinga. You can find my channel as a whole at youtube.com/beginner trading. And yeah, let's run those like numbers up. Hey, we got True Trading Group. Hey, thank you, brother. Appreciate the support, bro. But yeah, guys, hey, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Always remember, these are not recommendations to buy. Maybe I suck, and I'm sure some of y'all would agree, and that's okay. Love you all, guys. Appreciate the love. Let's run those like and subscribe numbers up. I hope to see you guys tomorrow, bright and early. I'm getting pumped up to trade, guys. I'm ready. I'm ready to trade. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Good luck. Love you all. Hit those like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.